Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for their right. We won freedom's fight. Oh, one, strong and free.
Praise be to God.
Praise be, praise be, praise be.
Bless our great nation,
Zambia, Zambia, free men we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free.
Shall we do a moment of silence for Mrs. Simon Kapwepwe, who's being buried today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As a PF, we have called for this press briefing to respond specifically to what the Zambia Inter-Party Dialogue said yesterday in their press briefing. And we are saying, Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue at the press briefing yesterday, at which they revealed that they had written to the president to call for dialogue, peace and reconciliation in the nation. They also stated that they had written to the prison authorities for permission to go and engage HH in dialogue. Let me correct something here. If there is a person who needs dialogue and reconciliation with himself, is Hakainde Hichilema. He needs to be at peace with himself and at peace with the world. ZCID, why we are calling on you to help him come to terms with reality. In response to their remarks, I wish to raise the following concerns. President Edgar Lungu is on record as having extended an olive branch to all stakeholders, including opposition political parties, that he is for dialogue on matters of national development. Therefore, ZCID is preaching reconciliation and dialogue to somebody who does not need to be lectured on it. The president has been consistent in calling for unity, love in the nation. President Lungu and the PF have incorrigible differences with the opposition, and neither does it hold any grudge against any political party that may have contested in the last election and lost. For the record, PF has no time to pamper any opposition leader at the expense of taking development to the people. PF is not affected, not even an inch, when some dissolution opposition leaders resign himself to a dark corner of denial that ZCID help the gentleman to have inner dialogue and inner reconciliation, and see that actually Zambians have no time for his clowning. The country has a president in the name of President Edgar Lungu. For the record, it is inconsequential to use whether he accepts that reality or not. It's a narrative over which we cannot lose sleep. We ask ZCID what their avergent outcome for their dialogue and reconciliation actually is. As they make efforts to negotiate HH's release in order to signify their same dialogue and reconciliation. We are a country of laws, and no one shall short-circuit any process rightfully before the courts. In promoting a culture of dialogue and reconciliation, let us emphasize consent here. ZCID must realize, like we do, that anything else can be discussed at any fora except to non-issues. There is no election petition in any court of law. Elections are water under the bridge, and the country has no luxury of time to play ping-pong by discussing whether or not there is a vacancy in the presidency. This is because it's no brainer that Zambia has a president, and only anarchists and retrogressive minds would seek to subject such a matter to a public spectators. We ask ZCID to find time and counsel HH what it means to be a good loser without losing yourself. We salute ZCID's position on UPND's style of politics. What counsel do they have for the UPND leader, Hakainde Hichilema, when he failed to recognize a democratically elected president? Where was ZCID when HH, before the election, publicly, and it's in the public domain, he said he will not accept the election results if he loses? It's also in the public domain that HH publicly said, and even Honorable Guys called our former vice president, that there will be Armageddon if UPND lose the elections. Where was ZCID then? We ask ZCID to tutor HH that Zambia existed before him. He was there. He was not there when Zambia was created by God. He should accept. It is existing now, and it shall continue to exist after him and me have gone to our graves. Zambia will still be there. In that regard, let him and his financial brokers stop giving Zambia a bad name in order for them to score cheap. HH would rather punish Zambians with hunger just to become a president. It is by God's providence that he is not a president. HH is a puppet of the West, and mark this, puppet of the West, in the style of Zimbabwe Morgan Tsvangirai, who was globe-trotting. Morgan Tsvangirai was globe-trotting, calling for sanctions against his own country. And this is what we have seen UPND doing. The Zimbabweans are suffering like they are because Tsvangirai is sold out to corporations in the West, which seek to recolonize us as a continent again, and that we are not going to allow as Zambians. Let ZCID educate HH about patriotism and country first before his ambitions. We know that those who funded him heavily needed their value for money, but sadly for them, they funded a losing, miserable candidate. While it is not within the mandate per se, but ZCID should also counsel Their Royal Highness, like, in fact, they should counsel, is not even Royal Highness, is the Chief Mukuni, that he is more of HH's business partner and UPND member than he is as an imperial traditional leader who must see all of us Zambians, even Mumbi Phiri, even if she's from Muchinga, I should be looked at by Chief Mukuni as his own child. But what have we seen? We have seen even his wife being in the forefront, even raising a symbol of UPND. Go back to your records and journalists. You're going even to see the pictures. What a shame. At least where I come from, Chief Chitimkulu's wife cannot do that. Where I'm married, Chief Gawaundi and Impezeni cannot do that. So it's unfortunate that Chief Mukuni is coming into the political arena. No wonder if you look at how many paramount chiefs we have in Zambia. We have Paramount Chief Gawaundi, we have Paramount Chief Mpezeni, we have Paramount Chief Chitimukulu, and the Litunga of Western Province. If you go through the history, you are going to realize that these people were bestowed by the title of Paramount Chiefs because the colonialists recognized that they were very organized. Now I'm wondering, is this why even our colonialists didn't recognize Mukuni? He's not even a senior chief. I think he's just the sub-chief. Did they foresee that the behavior will be like this? This is a question to him. And I urge ZCID to also speak to the chief. Having corrected this misconception being paraded by some people whose motives for this country are questionable, I wish to reiterate the need for all the parties accept that elections were held, someone was declared winner, and the one who was declared winner by the organ which is mandated by our Zambian constitution, which is the Electoral Commission of Zambia. They are the ones who announced that President Edgar Lungu had won with 50+1% under the new constitution which we were using. And President Edgar Lungu was installed as president by, again, the mandated institution which is the judiciary. An organization of ZCID nature must be careful not to be used as a mouthpiece for one political party, but must represent the interest of all political players in Zambia and ensure they advise those whose conduct borders on lawlessness and criminality. As a party, we continue to exercise the 5-year mandate given to us by the Zambian people and will look towards fulfilling all the commitments we shared in the runoff to the past election. May God bless you and thank you. And lastly, before maybe some of you have questions, I just want to make a comment. I'm sure some of you are also aware of what the former president of Nigeria, General Olusegun Obasanjo, has been saying. And I think some of you are privy to the write-up he did with his business partner, Mr. Mills, who is based in South Africa. And we are very much aware that they have a business friendship with Hakainde Hichilema. It's very unfortunate that General Olusegun Obasanjo can even speak the way he's speaking. from the history I know, although I was very young, what I know is Olusegun Obasanjo first became president of Nigeria through a military coup. Is that a leader we should emulate? Later, that's when he went for an election. What Olusegun Obasanjo should realize is that Zambia has changed. Our president, who is President Edgar Chagwa, is the president after going through an election and is the 6th president. We have never experienced where somebody like him can just come up and take over government. And he should differentiate. Zambia is not Nigeria. We respect our people. Him, when he's speaking for HH, yes, he's a former president of Nigeria, but I think he should sober up because we all know that they are business partners. Let him speak about the Boko Haram, or maybe let him speak about the Chibok girls who have been abducted and they're still looking for them. He has bigger problems in Nigeria. He shouldn't talk about a democratically elected government. And indeed, if he was a leader worth his salt, he was a president before. And he knows how government runs. The issues of Hakainde Hichilema are in the courts of law. Does he want our president who sought to protect the constitution of Zambia ignore the process which is taking place in the courts of law? Remember, we have three institutions of governance. We have the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. Let Olusegun Obasanjo make our judiciary operate independently. And he shouldn't bring the confusion which is in Nigeria to here. I thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to take some questions. But just to mention that both statements that the Deputy Secretary General of the Pacific Front, Mrs. Mumbi Phiri, has made this morning will be available. We've got a few prints of the statement on dialogue and reconciliation as pronounced by ZCID. But as we always do, both statements will be available to you electronically. We're going to email them immediately after this press briefing. So for those that have got questions, please we can take one or two questions. I know that you have to run back to your newsrooms and do the needful. Thank you. Do you have any questions or silence means consent? Yes. Okay, so thank you very much, colleagues, for coming through. After this meeting, I think just give your names to Newton and we'll see if we can have something for the class. Thank you so much.
One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky. Like a noble eagle in its flight, Zambia, praise to thee, O one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Praise be, praise be, praise be. Bless our great nation, Zambia. Zambia, free men we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, O one, strong and free.
Shall we pray together? Our Lord and our Father, we want to thank you this morning. Thank you for bringing us in this place this morning. We thank you, Lord, for safe passage to this place. And we ask of your traveling mercies as we disperse this morning in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Father, we want to thank you, and as we pray for peace and love in our nation, we pray that, Lord, continue watching over Zambia, continue protecting Zambia, May you prosper our nation. May we be a nation, Almighty God, brought together by love, peace, and unity. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.